Hello friends, welcome to Sail Happy Home. I'm happy to be here with you today. I got my camera up a little bit higher today. I found a little doohickey, put it on. Hopefully it won't fall over or any crazy stuff like that. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. Today is, what is it? Thursday, May 7, 2026. And it's going to be a busy day at work today, you know. I usually put these videos out in the morning before I start my job. I got a lot of meetings today and a lot of extra assignments. So it's going to be a good day because it's going to be busy and it's going to go fast. But I don't want to talk to you about that either. I want to talk to you about a news story that I saw today. But before that, I want to give you a little background. The people that know me understand that I have this unnatural revulsion to the human race. I know, I get it. I'm human. Of course, there are humans that I love more than my own life. I would lay my life down for. And my husband, of course, is at the top of that list. But humans en masse is, I just find us to be reprehensible. So for me, it is part of my shade. I believe everybody has a light side and a dark side, good and bad. I call it shade and shine. And you need to have a healthy balance of both, and you need to acknowledge both and allow both your shade and your shine to exist. You can't help it. It's unavoidable. It's part of the contract you have with God when you came here to be this person now, and you need to acknowledge it. I acknowledge that my shade side considers the human race disgusting and reprehensible. That aside, I saw a story today, and it was in a situation of a kill or be killed. Absolutely, I would take the side of a human. I would never leave a human. I don't care if you're Democrat, Republican, whatever you are. I don't care what your gender is. I don't care if you're a criminal or not. I will never leave a human in a burning building. I would never stand by and watch a human get mugged or carjacked. Never. Never. It's in our DNA. It's our duty to protect each other and care for each other and teach each other to be good, to be better. But there are situations where animals, which of course for me, animals, humans, where animals we are in a kill or be killed situation with animals, and we simply must jump in and save the humans. It's in our DNA. So this morning I saw this story about these young boys that were doing nothing wrong. They were at the bank of a body of water and they were fishing and having a great time. And it was so wonderful to see young kids out there doing what young American boys should be doing in their off time, out at the water fishing, having fun, playing young boy games, not inside playing video games, not on social media, not protesting, but just being a kid. And it was so heartwarming to see until the interaction with the animal. And the animal was a beaver. The beaver had rabies, and rabies, of course, is lethal. And the DNR of the state was actually able to capture this beaver and they verified that the beaver had rabies. So the beaver was not in its right mind, but still in that situation, you have to save those children, and those children actually saved themselves. They were able to fend off the beaver, and at one point in an onlooker's video, you can see them actually toss that beaver back into the water, and the beaver goes airborne and flips back into the water. I don't want that for the beaver, but it was necessary to keep these young humans alive, because they're our future, and God willing, they'll be better than we are. I was a little offended by the asshole that was filming it. Yes, he was across the body of water a little bit, but the proximity to the kids, he could have dropped his pole and he could have run over there and helped those children. He chose to stay on his bank and film it, and not just film it, but laugh. Laugh. A group of young children were in a life-threatening situation. The young boy that was the target of the attack was saved by his buddies, his friends who were his age. Not the adult. The adult stood there laughing and taking pictures. You can hear him laughing in the video. He thought it was hilarious. What kind of a Mongoloidian retarded moron do you have to be as an adult to stand there and film a rabid animal, wild animal, attempting to maul an 8-year-old boy and laugh about it? You want to know why I think humans are disgusting? That man is a good example of why today I think humans are disgusting. I would have dropped my pole, my phone, whatever. I would have gone over there. I would have screamed and hollered, call 911, and I would have gone there to help the boys. I would not have stood there and recorded it and laughed about it. So the boys that stepped in to help their young 8-year-old friend, they are heroes. They did the right thing that a good, well-raised American boy would do in a situation like that. They didn't question it. They didn't run, which if they did, you can't blame them. They are children. But without a second thought, they jumped in and heroically saved their friend. While a grown-ass adult stood across with feet from them. He could have easily run there. Even if it was a distance, he could have at least made the friggin' effort. Got there, made sure the kids were okay, called 911. He could have done something other than film it and laugh. And you can hear him laughing in the video. Reprehensible human. You know, I used to sit on a board very, very briefly for animal behavior. And it was one of those situations where you got invited to go on the board, but then the board never meets or never convenes, and you have all kinds of problems, and then it just dissipates. But I had looked forward to it. And prior to the board actually disbanding, before I could actually sit on the committee, which I was really disappointed. I had been invited on the committee and never got a chance to actually do any good animal behavior because I have a background in canine science. There was a case of a young boy who a family had a pet Rottweiler, and he was in a chain link fence, very secure, heavy duty chain link fence around the 3 squares of the backyard, or the front yard. It was the front yard and the backyard. But he was very, very well secured, and there were signs all over the fence for responsible dog owners do beware of dog. So there was a kid, he was about 10 years old, and he was a little asshole and a bully. And every day after school, the bus would drop him off, and he would walk past this house, and he would harass this Rottweiler. And eventually the Rottweiler got tired of it. And the kid decided to get bolder and bolder. And one day he just leaped up onto the fence so that more than half of his body was inside the parameter of their private property, right over a beware of dog sign, and lunged at this Rottweiler. Now, this Rottweiler had anxiety because of this kid already. This kid was obviously an asshole and a bully, and the kid got mauled. And the city and this board put the Rottweiler down. And because I was on the board, even though we hadn't actually gone and done anything yet, I was very angry and I voiced my opinion publicly, to the board and to others, that they should have put the kid down. It was the kid's fault. The kid antagonized that animal. Just like a number of years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, maybe a little longer, a little boy was out with the Boy Scouts and he had been expressly forbidden to have candy or wrappers or any kind of thing like that in their tents. They were told, you will attract animals. It could be dangerous. Do not do it. They are taught, Boy Scouts are taught how to handle trash and different things in the wilderness, to be not just environmentally responsible, but to keep yourself safe. The little boy defied the rules and had candy in his tent, in his sleeping bag. And after he ate the candy, he crumpled up the wrappers and set them alongside. And a bear came along, was attracted to those candy wrappers, and tore the tent open and mauled the kid, grabbed him by the head. It was national news. It was a big scandal. Everybody wanted to kill the bear. Oh my God, it was the bear's fault. It was the bear's fault. Everybody was rallying around this poor, innocent child. He was not innocent. He chose to violate the rules, which caused his attack. He's at fault for his attack. And I hope to this day that he knows he is at fault, that he's not a victim. He is a victim of entitlement, if anything. So these examples are two very polarized examples of how reprehensible humans raise reprehensible humans by antagonizing the dog of a responsible owner to the point of getting mauled, or violating the rules of nature and getting mauled, or running without question to save your 8-year-old friend from being mauled by an animal that was going to kill him. Beavers are dangerous creatures when provoked, when sick. 9 times out of 10, you could be in a body of water and never even know there's a beaver there. As long as you don't go near their den, you don't antagonize them, they don't give a shit about you. And the children that break the rules and leave candy wrappers out, and the children that jump into someone's private property over their fence to antagonize a dog and get mauled, they grow up to be the asshole that laughed while filming these children being attacked by a rabid animal. And those boys that were the victim of that attack, they're the ones that are going to grow up to be the heroes that run into those burning buildings, that are willing to be conscious of the fact that you may have to put your life on the line for another person. And would you or wouldn't you? Now, I know it's easy to say we would do those things unless you're actually in the moment. And in the moment, you may not be able to. But it's the thought. It's putting that muscle memory to good use and saying, I know that I would never, ever stand by and let something horrible happen to somebody if I could help it at all. So today we should honor those young boys for saving their friend. We should thank the DNR for capturing the animal, verifying that it had rabies and that it was a deadly animal, and removing it so that nobody else could get hurt. And shame on the man who laughed. You can hear him laughing throughout the video that he's filming. Shame on him. He should have done the adult thing and run over and help those kids. So, to ponder this rant today, I want you to think about what's more important to you. Getting clicks on social media because you filmed an 8-year-old boy being potentially killed by a rabid wild animal, or dropping your phone and running to help those boys in need. This is why humanity, for me, is reprehensible. This is why we need to obliterate this divide of good and bad, of bad choices and good choices. And we see this every day as we become more polarized politically. It is spilling out into our social constructs, into our educational systems, into our judicial branches. And we need to stop. Just because you have the choice to do wrong, to be wrong, to be a reprehensible human, doesn't mean that you should. So anybody out there who saw that video, anybody out there who thinks it was funny that somebody got almost killed by a rabid beaver, because saying rabid beaver can be kind of funny to some people, it's not. And I was horrified for the creature because he had rabies to begin with, and I want to know how that happened. And if other wildlife are susceptible to rabies, what they got going on in that patch of woods where this is going to happen. But I'm also grateful that the children were unharmed, because rabies could take out a kid in 72 hours. So it's not a laughing matter. Be the better human. And until next time, do good and be good.